Hey friends, welcome to Toon Talk. We are at White's today on location talking to our very own Stevie Lee Kinzer. Yeah, so this episode is just chill. We're just going to sit here and talk crap. We're going to have some drinks. We're going to be smoking. If you got small kids, it might not be one they want to attend. There might be swearing going on at some point, but we got people in the background. We got friends that are getting ready to play inside, and we're just ready to dive in. So we're just going to sit here and just chat and hang out. So stick around.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, we're talking about our wedding. Steven and I are getting married, and Stevie brought it up, and yeah, so we're just really excited, and I don't know, man. I think we didn't want to take away from anything over there, and it's just
at the vault.
At the vault. So like the doors are gonna open at 7. You know,
we're just partying upstairs, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like a going away party.
Yeah.
That then
because you're moving to Florida.
Yep. Yeah. That then just turned into we might as well get married because
exactly. I saw that. I was like, it's kind of good random. Like not random, but wow, he's just gonna put it in one, or you both were. I think that's cool.
Yeah, might as well. Everybody's gonna be there anyway.
Yeah, random's a different word, but just it was like, okay, I see where it's going.
If everybody's gonna be there, I guess we might as well. But I think it's gonna be more like a going away party.
That too, I could see that. Yeah.
And then we're just gonna take 10 minutes to get married.
Cool.
That's it.
Sweet.
That's it. I know.
For sure.
I know.
Music, all that stuff.
Country music, I know, I'm a country music fan. He's not so much, but I think
I like some of it, and that doesn't matter what I like or what.
Well, yeah, I think it's still going to be fun.
Of course.
Oh, we'll have a good time.
Mix in a couple other types, but if it's more country, cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blast, and it's new for the vault.
Right.
They've never had a DJ, and this morning I was talking to Chuck about it, and he was like, man, you got to check his stuff out, man. The parties that they put on, this guy is the whip. So, cool. I mean, it sounds like, you know, it's not just like any random DJ, I guess, you know. So.
Everybody will pretty much have free range of the place, too. I mean, yeah, the private party will be upstairs, but, you know, dance floor is open and to everybody.
Awesome. Great venue anyway, so it all works out.
Yeah, all the bars are going to be open.
Shouldn't say less. No.
No. Bring all the bars on. Cheers.
Yep, cheers to that.
So,
see, that's the thing. You used to yell at
oh, you changed your shirt.
Oh yeah, I was gonna wear my Smokie Links shirt because she was wearing a white shirt, and I was like, oh, we can't go in there both wearing white.
No, that's cool. And that's more your emblem anyway.
Right.
You know, Superman mixed in with Stephen James.
Right.
I get it. That's cool.
Yeah. So, but you're with Smokie Links.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we love the Smokie Links.
I drum with the Smokie Links. Co-write, do all that with the team. In fact, one of my homies in the background, if you see him doing what he's doing, that's Scott Summers.
Sax man.
He
plays the sax flute.
Plays some bass too. What's up, brother?
Is he wearing the vagina shirt?
Yes, he is. We got Matt Rice back there too. If you see him in the picture.
Yeah, anybody's back there, they can see him.
There you go.
Yeah, you guys.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
did you catch that on the mic?
You're on the podcast.
Beans, greens, and in betweens. Yep. Great food. Fantastic food, actually.
Where?
Green beans and in-betweens, is that what you said?
Bean, greens, and in-betweens.
Yeah, awesome. Kids, make sure you eat your beans. They make you strong.
And they do everything else besides.
They make you go toot.
Right.
Toot.
So Smokie Links, what we got coming up?
Let's see here. We just did, we've done a bunch of, we were actually the first band, I'm actually happy about this, that played on Ojibwe Island when they opened it up.
Right on.
The first band to kind of christen it, if you want to think of it that way.
Right.
It wasn't meant to be just us, the Smokie Links, but we were actually the first band in over several years when they shut down Ojibwe to play that Blues and Ribs Fest.
Yep.
Blues and Rock and Roll Blues Rib Fest or something like that.
Yep.
So that was really cool. And then we just did the event here with Lifeline Entertainment.
That was a good time.
Really good time.
Yep.
And then we have stuff coming up at the end of the month.
Right
and
on.
we'll fill in the gaps this month too and just keep going.
I think you know, we haven't done an interview with Smokie Links.
No. I talked to Steve about it because I work with Steve, obviously.
Yeah, Pogo.
And we talk pretty much every day he's there. And we talked about, you know, trying to set something up with all you guys.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. What would you say about the Smokie Links that maybe separates you from the rest? Because I can think of one, but I mean, I wonder what you might think about.
Joey. That's Joe Belba walking in.
Hell yeah.
The old all-star cast coming around.
I know, right?
What separates us from the rest? I mean, that's a broad question.
It is.
What I think is, it might be cliche, but the realness, just be real, get up there. I'm sure a lot of bands say that, but there's no gimmicks with us. We just get up, play the show. Even when we're writing, we make sure our lyrics just make sense to what we're trying to do in life. We have that blues feel, that rock and roll feel, mixed with some of that jazz.
Right.
I think with a lot of that with the saxophone.
Yeah.
And that R&B, but not that modern R&B, almost that rhythm and blues.
Right.
I don't know if they call it soggy bottom music. I don't know about that, like the southern music. There's that southern hard rock to
and
it.
that's what I was thinking. It's got this southern rock blues to it, and with Dion's rasp,
Yes.
it really, really works. I think that the saxophone implement in it really does highlight the band and separate it. I think if it wasn't there, I'm not sure what you could even call it, really.
Exactly. Because you have his raspy voice, baritone with tenor, and then he's playing keyboards.
Right.
Yes.
Which is great. You intermingle that with the bass and guitar and the saxophone and myself on drums.
Right on.
Like you said, it completes that quality to it.
The package itself, I think, is very good. When you, and I think the point that I would like to make is, especially with kids wanting to get into music and they form a band, that band doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be right the first time. And I think as you grow and evolve, people come in and they go out, and they come in and they go out, until you have that combination of righteousness. You know what I mean?
Till it makes sense.
Till it makes sense, and it happens a lot. But what I don't like is sometimes people get they steer away all of a sudden if they think it's not working, and they quit altogether. And never quit, never give up on music.
Exactly.
You know, if it doesn't work out, you find somebody else and you just keep going.
Once the music bug bites you, you're in.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. I know I'm speaking for me. I know you being a musician too, Steve. You have your ups and then you have your downs.
I'm super bummed about the whole Taylor Mountain thing, me having to go to Florida, man. I mean,
exactly. You're moving.
We were just kind of trying to put something together that was good, you know. And, but sometimes life just kicks you in the ass, and you got to take that leap, man.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully when we get down there.
Oh,
I'm good at.
He'll regroup fine with what he's doing.
And I'm really good at scoping out.
That too.
You know, like
she's gonna be my manager.
Yeah, you're a team now. You know, you always have been, but even more so, especially when you're married.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple bars in town that I know have music that I've been to already that I know.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I can easily scope out. And he's already been on some websites.
Yeah, I jumped on the Facebook wanted sites down there.
Yeah.
Kind of just feel it out, see what's down there. I mean, it seems like there are a lot of cover bands that are looking. But, you know, I mean, I could step into something like that, get it going, and then say hey, man,
maybe
you know, I got these
own
songs.
And sprinkle in some originals, too.
Yep.
That's what we do with the Smokie Links. Even with REDBURN, the band I'm in, REDBURN, we'll sprinkle in those covers.
Right.
With Smokie Links, we're more cover-driven with our originals.
Right.
And REDBURN, more originals with covers. But like you said, you'll sprinkle that in and do your original work.
Right.
You'll be just fine, man.
Yeah, I think, like, in this era, probably more in like the last 10 years, you just see so much covers, that it's hard, I think, for people to go to a bar to see an original band because they don't know it. It's hard, I think, for people to get in their head that I'm going to go listen to something new and I might really like it.
Correct.
And you know what I mean? It's like,
I
but
found
I'm
that
not
out
gonna...
many times throughout my musical journey.
Yeah.
You go into it, you always want to do your originals. But if at the end of the day, no one's going to wake up, go check out Stevie Lee, me or something, if they don't even know who I am, the product or the band. Right. That's life. Even me. There's bands out there that are badass, but I just don't, let me go check out John Doe and his band.
Yeah.
I don't know them yet.
Yeah.
Now, when I do get to know them, I'll rock that shit out all day.
Well, yeah.
But until then, it's like you said, you got to get your foot in the door, play your music, sprinkle in the originals. Then as soon you'll get a following, they're like, oh, there you go, and starts clicking.
Yeah.
Not preaching at all.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
you guys,
it happened to me too. So
like both bands you're in, REDBURN and Smokie Links, have music that I think is really super catchy, and it doesn't matter what age group you're in. I mean, it caters to from 20 to 40, 50, 60 years old.
I'm with that 100%.
100%. So you just sprinkle in whatever genre that kind of goes with what you're doing already, and people are more likely to keep returning because it is really, there's really catchy tunes in there.
Yeah, you guys draw a good crowd too, man. You got a good following.
Yeah, it means a lot, man. It took many years to do that.
Right.
But like you said, even with that, you need material to keep them intrigued.
Yeah.
And then, you got the REDBURN fans too that follow. And you guys are known from that group. And anything going on with that?
Well, there was a lot going on with that.
Well,
in a good way.
Right. And
but we were going on tour. Had it all lined up with
Shifty.
Yeah, Shifty Shell Shock.
Yeah. And then we lost him, unfortunately.
Yep. By Crazy Town, the band, with Seth, is his real name, Seth. We were talking, he was talking with Chris every day, back and forth, and the label was. So we had a whole West Coast tour lined up, going into the South, heading over to the Midwest, then gonna hit up the East Coast and then come back. Now, unfortunately, rest in peace or rest in heaven, he ended up passing away, and here we are.
I think, I don't know for 100% sure, but I think we were probably one of his last interviews, man. That we caught with him.
That's right. When we did the Sagan Awesome Fest, I remember that. We were off to the side, and you interviewed Seth, or you both did.
Yeah.
But it was primarily, you both did. I think you're right. That was probably one of the last interviews he did as well, with you guys, and it shook the world up, or at least the music community.
Yeah, I'm glad because looking back at that interview, he seemed like a very quiet person, but he has a lot to say.
Yep.
And once he started talking, and he was talking about that big concert for Nelson Mandela.
She asked a perfect question, what was your biggest...
That was one of the... sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
That was one of the cooler questions I've seen, and not buttering you both up, or even you. No one's really brought that up in a while. And when we saw that, even Chris and I, we were like, damn, that's badass. And when he opened up, you saw that spark come back.
Yeah. Like you could see the difference from before that question till that question. He just... you could see him perk up.
He's done a lot. That whole band did, and himself.
And I think that's another thing too. Is you could be in a band for a really long time, and you might only be known for that one hit or whatever. But look at where he's gone. Look at what he's done.
Exactly.
And that to me also spoke volumes.
Absolutely.
I would do a lot to have a one hit. A lot of people did say the one hit wonder. Now you want to have more hits than that.
Yeah.
But if that's your one hit and you've been touring your whole life off that hit, obviously you have other songs sprinkled in.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Life's hard enough.
Look at Tommy Two-Tone. He just had this thing here in Saginaw, man. And we were so bummed. I was at practice with Taylor Mountain that night, and I was like, and I heard something was going on, and I was like, he's like, but I thought it was a REDBURN thing. So I was like,
and that's why he clarified online. Did you see his post?
I didn't catch that.
There's a whole, but did you catch it now? If you didn't, there's a whole post that Chris even wrote for that reason, because it got misconstrued to where it was all about like the REDBURN band or even just Chris. No, Chris is his publicist and his manager promoting Tommy Two Tone.
Yeah.
Mr. 8675309. You know, Jenny. So, and that's one thing Chris will do. He'll let you know, this is what I'm doing with this at the moment.
Yeah.
But as a listener or a viewer, I could see where it got was misconstrued.
Well, I saw like he was looking for something. I don't remember what it was.
People
but
show up and
by the time I saw it, it was too late, and he was at band practice.
Yep.
But I'm going to tell you what, had we known that,
Resolve was there, man.
Yeah, we would have been.
They did it with
He would have been. I'm not doing practice. We're heading over there as part of Tune Talk.
Oh, absolutely.
And man, it was such a bummer for the podcast.
Yeah,
I was like, damn it.
I had other arrangements I couldn't get out of, and I was like, dang. But
Right.
Kudos to him, badass to Tommy Two Tone.
Yeah.
Chris, the whole crew. No Resolve doing that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, from what we saw, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I saw, it was awesome.
Yeah, it looked great.
Yeah, I think No Resolve nailed it.
I can't wait to see the video when it's done.
Yeah, when you see in the background them recording, but you can also hear the remix or the rendition that No Resolve did with them.
Yeah.
It'll be cool.
Yeah.
All their stuff's really cool.
Yeah, so stay tuned for Tommy Two Tone. Yeah. I mean, that's one of those songs too, you know, like
that'll never go away. Never go away.
I can't remember what it was that he said. You know, like, where were y'all? And I'm like, I've been right here, Jenny.
Yeah.
Right here. I've been here the whole time, Tommy. Listen, I'm right here.
Exactly.
I'm taken now, though. Sorry.
No, I'm just checking the camera.
Oh, the shadow?
No, I'm just making sure it's.
Where's the shades? Because it was sunny, but.
No, I'm just making sure it's still
I'm
recording.
in it.
All right.
I'm all about the tan.
But yeah. Tan going.
I know. It doesn't last long. The real sun, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know.
But
so,
it's good when it does.
Yeah. I'm like, I was at the pool today for a couple hours.
Nice.
I went down there after I edited because we did some reaction videos today.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we did Lori and the Darlings, Mick Blankenship and Kaleido. I've been trying to. I've emailed Mick Blankenship and Kaleido like a couple of times, and unfortunately they haven't responded. But maybe they, hopefully they'll pick up on it.
Eventually they'll respond.
I have to keep plugging their stuff.
For sure. That's the way it goes, man.
I know. I got a list of people I got a message to because we got some shows at the Vault.
Yeah.
Like Billy Bob.
Yeah, Billy Bob
guys-
Thornton's coming. Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton and his band.
Yep.
I saw that. And you did Hinder.
Yep.
Yeah.
You recently interviewed Hinder.
Yeah.
That was
Amongst
awesome.
other bands, too. That's very cool.
Yeah. There's we got Goodbye June coming.
Yep.
Who else? There was hopefully we'll get Chase Engel.
Are they coming through?
Yeah,
They're
he's
coming
coming
through.
back, and I don't know. There was another one. I don't know, but I gotta get through and as being in a band, if you have a show coming up in 3 months, this is the part that I'm struggling with. I would rather message you now
Yeah.
and say, hey, this is who I am, and we would like to set this up. We don't have to set a date right now.
Right.
But if you could, somewhere in this month, around this week-ish.
Can we make it work out or plan it out? I mean, that's what happened to us. I mean, life happens. You got
Yeah.
sick, and then I was like, well, okay. And then things happened with me for that few weeks where finally we saw each other at Hinder. And then we re-engaged, and I said, well, if you guys want to do it, it's up to you. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm all about this podcast because what you're bringing to the music community is great, and just the artist, like in itself. When you really think about it, there's tons of podcasts out there. There's tons of bands, artists, but what you're doing actually reignited or actually sparked that candle under your ass or people's butts to get it going. And I just want to say that's badass as me being a musician. So we thank you on our end of it. So thanks to you guys, man, for doing
appreciate
stuff
that.
like this. It means a lot.
Yeah, well, I really hope that the people that are listening and watching will at least, at a minimum, click the link and listen. even if it's just one song. If you like it, maybe you'll listen to more, and then they'll like and subscribe and follow, and then hopefully come to the show.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is...
Even the reaction videos, even without an interview.
Right.
Like that part. Exactly.
Yep.
You're at least promoting all those bands and genres, and it's pretty cool things.
We got a awesome community around here for music. I mean, it's very diverse, and it's been really good to me personally. I mean, I went through some shit a couple years ago, and because I was able to get involved and be a part of this community, it got me through a mess of my life. So
yes, sir. Big time.
It reminds me of, what's the song you guys do about losing a friend through alcoholism?
Oh, Changing Lanes. Yeah, with the Smokie Links,
Yep.
Changing Lanes.
And it's, when you're going through a hard time, what I really love is the output. You can take something that hurt you or devastated you, and then write a song about it and release it for the world. And it takes that weight off your shoulders, and it turns it into something beautiful for you, but also might uplift and help and open the eyes of somebody else.
Big time.
Yeah.
A lot of things that we write, even what Dion's writing, or myself, or Chris, or whoever, you write it not always for that reason, but when it does come together, it's 100% for that reason. To let go of it, and you're just writing it, and the audience or the crowd can engage, or the friends, or the listener. So exactly, I mean, that's why you do it.
Yeah.
At least that's why we do it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes now I think, there's just a lot of the, I mean, not all of it. I'm definitely not saying that, but like, there's just music to be music.
Yeah, it might sound good, but what is it?
It's just an income,
like you're nodding to it, and then you really listen to what they're saying.
Yeah, it's just like an income generator.
There you go. I mean, there's times, especially with that pop train. If you're involved in all that pop, I mean, God bless them. But like you said, cookie cutter almost.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's in and out within 3 months. Who was that, or what song was that? And that's also with social media, I believe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like the TikTok, 5-minute or 5-second videos or 30-second videos.
Yeah,
whatever,
30 at most.
Where they're hitting pretty hard, but then and I'm on TikTok quite a bit because of the podcast, and you'll see them for a while, but unless they're putting out song after song after song after song, they become real irrelevant real quick.
Yeah, I've noticed that. There's pros and cons of that,
right?
Because now it's easier to get your material out,
right,
than it was 15, or not even 15.
No,
10
not even.
years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But so there is a positive to it, but the negative draw I see is it becomes diluted. It really does.
Yeah.
But God bless anyone doing it. Life's hard enough.
It's hard to find our podcast sometimes.
I mean, exactly. There's even times that Varion stuff, Varion's the way you pronounce it, that band I was in the mid-2000s, we did very well. We can probably get on that if you want.
That's why I was going to ask you about that, because I mean, we did a reaction video on one of your songs, and I really liked that. I thought that was a good sound, that and that was more up, the kind of style that I like as far as music.
I saw you say that in there. It made me smirk because I'm like, you ain't lying.
Right.
I hear a lot of that in the stuff that in the things that you write, the material. But that was like social media was around, MySpace and all that.
Right.
But it was in its infancy to where we were like 2006 to about 2013-ish. I might have wrote 2012 on that sheet. Mm-hmm. It went into 13, so what is that, 6-7 years?
Right.
But now where we're at, even within 7 to 10 years later, with all the social media. So when you go to look up Varion and all that, you'll see like, they only have 450 views on this one thing. But if you go to other calculators back in the day, we were rocking it pretty well. We were on mainstream radio or whatever, national radio for a little over 3 months straight. And that doesn't sound like a lot, and I know I've been saying the threes, but we were on a contract, and then we had it for 3 years in Best Buy. We were in Best Buy. I had a kiosk with us all. Like,
no
what up?
kidding.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I don't speak about it much. I'm on the podcast, so now I'm speaking about it. Now's the time. But yeah, I don't ever, hey, I'm Stevie Lee, and this is what I did. But
Right.
it was very, very cool. But I was younger then. I was in my early to mid-20s. I didn't know what to do with all that. And when you get your BMI checks quarterly, it's cool, and it's quite a bit. It's not insane to where I was buying like the Rolls Royce, or like, yeah, there's my Lambo. But it was cool getting money in and your residuals. But then we didn't have the right promotion, other than being in Best Buy and Network Records with Sony.
Right.
We were signed to Sony. You can look all this up. Not making any of it up. But it was a blessing. It was a blessing, and I'm glad it happened. I wish I was more wiser then. But
You don't know what you don't know.
you don't know what you don't know. Exactly. Now that we all know, we're all older now.
Yep.
We always say that. Oh, I wish I would have known this and did this and that. You start hanging out with everyone thinking they're your friends. Getting deep on it. Hey, you want the VIP to this next show after the one show? No problem. Then you get there and then you think you're really doing it. And then 10 years later, where are they at? So, but it was a blessing. I'm happy for it. I still write in the background, like a lot of stuff. I haven't released anything for Varion, for that fact that I was in REDBURN now, and he was doing the whole club scene,
Right.
and he was in the hip hop scene, hitting the clubs hard. I was in the rock scene, hitting it hard, like all the venues and all that. We finally linked up when Call of Duty, that video game, came out.
Oh yeah.
2006 or 7. I don't know if that was the first one, but it was one of the Call of Duties at GameStop. Mm-hmm. So they put Varion, our band, or my band, on it, and then DJ Red is on it.
Awesome.
At the whole thing, there's a huge line wrapped around the building like twice, and we're rocking out, and we exchange our cards or our numbers, and then ever since then we were talking.
You know what? I think he talked about that in the
Interview with
in
him,
our
Chris,
interview
yeah.
with him. Yeah.
Exactly, and we just started hitting each other up more and more, and then into that, segueing through my rock scene and Varion and Stevie Lee, you had DJ Red, you had Chris doing his thing. We got together and we're like, well, I'm kind of getting tired of just straight up rock and roll scene. I always called it butt rock.
Yeah.
Which butt rock's cool to a certain point, but when that's all you're doing,
Yeah.
Trying to push out things for the radio.
yeah, that or just anything. You're
Right.
just always around that scene, and I thought it was just me, and I wasn't bummed. I'm glad I'm doing music. That's all I was around, and I had that other side. Nothing about the streets and I'm hip hop and all that, but I was even writing for Young Money, man. That's another rabbit trail. His name's Roy Reeves. I was writing his rap album,
Oh no.
and no one knows that fully either until you look it up in Detroit. And he had his music on the radio. And then I was always Stevie Lee, DJ Stevie Lee, or produced by Stevie Lee. At the time, no one really fully knew. I'm the guy rocking out doing these hard rock shows, but writing like hip hop and R&B and hip hop music for these guys. They were hitting it hard, so I'd show up like pretty much the only white boy in these hood joints in Detroit. So I'd show up, what up, man? It's fun. But back on point with what I'm saying, Chris got tired of just doing clubs and always that. We loved it, but if that's all you're doing, you're kind of like, okay. So we teamed up, and that's where we kind of formed this hip hop rock, or actually we call it rock hip hop or rock hop.
Right.
For
Yeah.
that reason.
Yep.
We put rock in front of it because it's essentially rock and
Yeah.
it's rock music or metal, some metal influences, but more hard rock with lyrics. His lyrics for the verses. He's a lyricist.
Yeah.
So they're thinking just rap, yo yo yo. Here's my chain, bitches and hoes. No, man. When you really hear what he's saying, there's substance to it.
Yes.
Right.
So it's right. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So it's
I
rock
love
hop.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something where it sparked an energy in us. So like around 2012, 13, there's even a video that he found on his old laptop or something of us jamming in the basement, gearing towards the rock hop flow or vibe him and I wanted. We're like sitting there and I'm strumming the guitar, the acoustic, and he's kind of humming stuff and I'm humming stuff. It's pretty cool. And then we came up with a song and like sang it, only a minute just to kind of show what we were doing. Anyway, we didn't get to go into all that.
And now you have rock hop radio.
Yes,
Absolutely,
yes.
yep.
Well, like even back in like the 80s and 90s, you know, you had a little bit of bands. You could see it then intertwining. What was it? Run DMC.
Oh yeah,
Aerosmith. You know,
Aerosmith.
I think that was kind of like
big time.
Or even like Anthrax.
Yeah.
Or you know,
Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys. I was
big
just
time.
gonna say
They were like the pioneers of that. To me,
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
what I'm saying. There's way more artists.
Yeah,
But
and
to
it's
me,
funny.
when you see what they were doing,
Yes.
Yeah, we're about the same age range, so I say that you know that's probably the more.
They were
first,
a
that
they
was
were a
that
true
was the
band.
first exposure. That
Yeah.
I
And
had.
I'm old. I'm older. So I
You're-
mean,
oh yeah, you're
Oh,
old.
you're so
you old
old.
thing.
I mean,
no,
I'm like 7 years older.
They don't make a
that's
difference.
still the same
baby.
idea.
Yeah.
We don't have to say our ages online.
We're still in the same
Hey, it's a
generation.
podcast. I'm 29. He's 32, and she's a little bit older. She's 34.
I'm only 2 years
Thanks,
older.
brother.
There you go. So get it right. That's right. 29, 32, 34.
I love it.
Notice how you put us both older than him.
Well, I don't know because you just said you were older, so I had to add something. All right, fine. Fine. I'm 30. He's 32, and she's.
There you go.
I was like teetering at 29, baby. Now,
I gotta keep myself under.
Yeah,
30.
right. Till I take the glad and the wrinkles. And
Well, my 30s were the worst, so.
yeah. Well, hey,
So are mine, really.
ups and downs.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of my 30s. Started with my 30th birthday and it ended with my 40th.
And then now you're redemption.
Yes.
I was
Hey.
pretty much an addict until I was like 37.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Really?
And I went through 7 years of trying to get off freaking opiates, man.
Damn.
7-year program.
Well, God bless you, man.
Yep.
I think, too, that's why.
Like Subutex, Suboxone, and
Yeah, I was on Suboxone for 7 years.
oh yeah. Well, basically,
After
pill
being
form
addicted,
heroin.
after
I mean,
being addicted to morphine and Vicodin and freaking Oxycontin and all that shit.
for you to even admit that, I mean, yeah, I got heavily involved in some other things that were not downers. I was more into uppers.
No, I did the cocaine
an
before
upper.
that.
Yeah, and the Adderall was my friend, and
No.
Yeah, I was always an upper.
until you find out they're not your friend.
No.
Exactly.
Especially- you know what I mean?
Drugs is not your friend.
Yeah, I got a family member who's going downhill right now, man, and you know, and it's unfortunate. And I don't. Only thing I can say is, like, you know, just be there for that person because
Yeah.
we all went through those phases, man, and the only person that's going to get you off that is yourself, and you have to make that choice because if you don't want to do it, you're not going to.
Oh, absolutely.
I think, too, like, you know, from a music end of things, when you might be chilling with some friends, listening to some beats, doing whatever, and then think everyone else is doing whatever, but it's that one time though that might whatever
That one moment.
one
One moment. Oh well, he did it or she did it. You know,
And they're
I'll take
fine.
a bump or I'll take some of that pill or
Yep.
Yeah.
this is a good time, or it might have been a good time at that night. Then
Right.
the next weekend, it always starts in the weekends, or I mean,
Right.
not always weekend, but
Yeah.
it's not like every day right away. And then they're like, I'll do it again, whatever.
Right.
Before you know it, you're doing it every day just to function.
No, I was doing bumps at work in the bathroom in my 20s, man, trying to freaking maintain my day.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, I mean, when it gets that heavy, you find it out real quick.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not your friend at the time.
Nope.
That was your buddy. No. Especially with that fentanyl going around.
Oh, dude, yeah, and that's all. It only takes one.
Narcan's not bringing you back with fentanyl.
Nope.
No.
I mean, maybe if you get very lucky, but why are you rolling the dice? I mean,
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
dare to keep a kids off drugs, you know.
Dare.
Absolutely.
Dare.
It sounded
dare.
like a drug program, but
yeah.
to be
But I
honest,
mean, what happens is, you know, hopefully, you know, you wind up later, you lived through it, and you're able to
You're
tell your
lucky to live
story,
through it, yeah.
and then you can write about it. And there ain't nothing you're gonna tell an 18-year-old. There ain't nothing you're gonna tell them because they know everything.
Yeah,
I did, you did.
Same.
And don't lie. We knew. Our parents were fucking idiots.
and we
I
all
don't give a
thought we
fuck.
knew it all.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you ain't gonna be able to tell nobody shit.
Yeah.
But if you watch and you listen and you pay attention to what some people that you look up to or that you listen to regularly have to say, don't listen to your parents then. Don't listen to your friends. Listen to that guy who's been through it and he's telling you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, try to listen to your parents and all
You
that.
know?
But you're right. If you're in that mode of I know it all,
Yep.
what you just said, 100%.
Yeah.
Someone who's been through it all and got out of the fire.
Yeah.
Right. If they're still in the fire, watch out because you're drawn in. But like you said, if you made it out alive, like for instance you now, you have a platform to talk about it, and myself too, and yourself. And
yeah, and it's like being a person that's recovered doesn't mean that you're always okay either, and
No,
it's
I
really
mean,
easy to get worked
you're
up in
around
the
it all
wrong
the
part.
time. It shows. I know you are.
I have
Yeah.
what the fuck is it
PTSD?
called? PTSD from
Yeah,
shit.
you
You
start
know, I mean,
thinking
my anxiety these days are so fucking bad. I have lapses where I get triggered so fucking bad that my mind has me completely 100% convinced I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
I went to the ER 2 weeks ago over a
Yeah.
fucking panic.
real anxiety.
Real
That's
anxiety.
real panic attack.
I mean,
anxiety.
I was in total 100% fight or flight, and I thought I was gonna die.
I mean,
yeah.
your eyes even play tricks. It's not like your brain, but your eyes
Psychologically, yeah.
Yep.
play tricks on you. And, I mean, I think that what I find really cool about some of the music now is finding ways to talk about it. It's not preaching.
Correct.
It's fun. It's energetic. But it's got a story, like that's changing lanes.
Exactly.
Alcohol's a drug, just like any other
It
thing.
is. It is. I'll admit that. I like it a lot.
Me too.
Almost too much.
We're partaking
Yeah.
right now.
Yep.
And sometimes, and I've been really guilty up until probably when I met you. Honestly, you were like one of the first things you liked about me was my raspy voice. Well, that's because I've been fucking partying every day, drinking and not talking and singing and
Talking, smoking, doing a lot of talking and boozing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
It does. It catches up to you in a sense.
Yeah.
It's how you hone it in.
But now it's like I can have 4 of these and I'm done.
I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
I'd like to think I've been a good influence in her life.
You made it out of the fire, brother.
Yeah.
With probably the hardest drugs, the dragon, chasing the dragon.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
kudos to you, man. I never knew that, man. I really didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, we look each other up about what we're talking about.
The worst
Yeah.
Coolest
experience.
thing I just found out about him.
The worst experience I've ever had, as far as anything goes, is I was in jail. I was in Saginaw County, going through withdrawals, full-blown withdrawals, man.
The withdrawals.
And I was sleeping in a fucking sled and pissing and shitting and puking myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweating it out.
Yep.
Shaking.
It was a
Kids, you do not want to go through that.
No.
The other thing is too, like I got 2 friends right now that are full-blown alcoholic,
Well,
that are so bad that they can't quit or they'll die.
exactly. If you quit cold turkey,
Yep.
They
that
will.
happened to my buddy's uncle.
Yep.
He went in to get something checked on him in the doctors. Hey, we got to operate on you now. Tell us everything. He felt embarrassed to say, but he drank, a lot of alcohol all day
Yeah.
to survive. They would have put him on something else or made him wait till he could wean off. He didn't. Went into surgery. They didn't do anything about it because they didn't know.
Right.
All of a sudden,
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So,
Well, they're not checking your blood alcohol.
yeah, they're just asking you, hey, and that's when that's another thing. You have to be straight up. If you go to the hospital or the doctor, if they're really asking you those questions,
For a reason.
whether alcohol or whatever,
Yeah, they're not trying to be dicks and call you
it's all
out on your
confidentiality
stupidity.
or whatever, confidentiality
To
or
save
confidential.
your life.
Exactly.
Yeah, it will save your life if you you just gotta be.
You gotta be up
You
front.
gotta be up front.
Yep. Even if you need someone out of the room to talk to the one-on-one to the doctor, just so let that be another lesson.
Yeah,
Right.
I know that sometimes there's a hot nurse in there, and you're afraid to say it.
Well, then they want the one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this new
No.
AI.
Try to make
Oh,
it.
you're gonna just do surgery?
All right,
I get
everyone outta here,
I get
baby.
sponge baths later.
All right, Edit, cut that one out too.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm super proud of you, by the way.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's
Heck,
funny
I'm gonna
because
interview you guys for real. I never knew that about you both, or especially him getting out of them
Yeah.
opiates, man.
like with him, it's funny because I knew early that anxiety attack was probably going to happen.
Yeah,
I was hoping that it wasn't going to,
you just knew.
but I
a matter of time.
knew that later on today it's gonna happen. Like I just instinctively knew, and then when he called and in that I was like, all right.
Total freaking panic on the phone, you know.
Yeah, your life, exactly, a true panic attack, anxiety. You thought you were dying.
Yep.
Yeah, those panic attacks, it's super, super crazy because, you know, one, you think you're gonna die, but I think too, like, I don't know, when I've had them, I always thought after the first panic attack where I called an ambulance, and it was just a panic attack, and I was so totally embarrassed about it that I was never gonna let that happen again.
So I had to pay that $300
deductible fee.
Exactly.
Yep. Absolutely.
Just for them to show up to tell you, calm down.
Yeah. I know, right?
That.
But good. I mean, you know.
Well, yeah, but you know, after that first one, then the next one, I was like laying there going, okay, well, I have to tell somebody to at least come and check on me like in an hour, because if it's not really a panic attack, I don't want to be dead on my couch and nobody's going to be here for a week.
That's a good point. So the first one, you know, they show up, no, you're fine. The second one, what if I'm not fine? Yeah.
Right.
Well, then you know, see, my thing is, and this is probably just my overwhelming anxiety talking.
He's got a medical anxiety.
I have medical anxiety.
Okay.
A health anxiety.
So, and not only that, he got off of what he did, so it's probably double or triple times.
Right.
All the damage that he did to his body because of it has led to the health anxiety.
Yeah. And
like, what did it do to my organs?
For sure.
The problem is, like, what if one day, you know, my mind's always thinking this, what if one day something is wrong and I don't go because I think it's a fucking panic attack?
Exactly. Oh, I'll be fine.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, no, I'm not fine. I'm not.
Yep.
And it's too late.
Right.
I hear you.
Yep.
So it's a never-ending cycle.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I feel that in a certain way. I'm not saying exact because I was never.
Maybe
on
you
the
should write a
opiates,
song, anxiety, panic attack.
You should.
Oh,
I know there's a panic attack song, but I don't think it's the same.
There's so many that you know, and that's the thing. Like with being a songwriter and talking about topics and stuff like that, and I have insecurities, unfortunately, where it's like, okay, so I don't want to copy this person's music, or I don't want to say, but somebody's already done this topic way too many times, or, you know, and then you get discouraged very easily, and it's very.
You think you're almost going to mimic, or not mimic, but copy the flow, or not even flow.
Or you don't want to use the same words as somebody else, or something like that. You know, I hate that. That's about writing, man. That's the worst thing.
I venture to that sometimes too. But the beauty of writing is there's always that pencil or pen, or if you write on your phone. I do a lot of pencil and pen. I'm old school, but there's always that cross it out and use a different word. Not to copy you're not copying the artist,
right?
But if there's a word or even a rhythm that
catches you,
or it's exactly what the other artist did that's more well known. There's a ways around it, but I'm with you on that. Where you're like, well, hang on, that's dicey. I don't want them to think I was jocking some guys.
Because there's some music that there might be a section of the song that just, like, I'll sit there and I'll be in the car and I'll just want to hear that same section over and over again, because it's like, you know, like I'm just getting hit with guns or something, and like I just, oh man, I just love this.
Mode at the moment.
And then, it's funny because I've done this so many times where I'll be listening to something and then lyrics are automatic, they'll just start coming through my head, and then while I'm driving I'm using voice to text to my thing.
Cool.
And then I'll send it to him, because I'm not a writer. I don't know anything about any of it, but I'll be like, here, do something with this, but this is what I was listening to.
So in a sense you are a writer, because people will say that you felt something and you wrote something. So in a sense, you are a writer. So think of it that way. And now he's the vessel to make it happen.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of
that
that
ain't all bad.
Yeah, my girlfriend Becky and I, she'll have moments that too, or even in songs that we write, she'll use different terms like a thunderclap, like old, but it's like a crescendo basically.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's parts where we wrote, because she'll hear the demo version before anyone hears it with whatever we're doing. Then we keep it tight, you know. I'm not sending anything out. She's with me, and we have them on our Bluetooth speakers in the house. And why did he add a crescendo there? And I'm thinking, oh no, I know what I'm doing. Hey, no. I don't do it like that, but I'm thinking.
I do that to him.
Exactly. No, but and there's moments where I sat back. All right, we're putting the old thunderclap in there, baby, or the crescendo, and it works.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not all the time, but it's what I'm saying overall is it's very cool to have that interaction.
Absolutely, because like what she pays attention to in songs a lot that I don't is like little things. Like for instance, she has this thing with "Gone Away" by Offspring, where he has just this part where he goes, and it's just that in the song by itself that gives you.
Millisecond.
Yeah.
But it makes all the difference.
Yes, absolutely.
And to me, it's that relayed the emotion for the whole song.
Yep.
And until you heard that moment, it could have been more of a sadder song, but it wasn't. It was like, I'm angry.
Yeah, he let it out and you felt it.
Yep.
What if they didn't?
Like I got goosebumps thinking about it right now. I've been in music like all through high school, and I played almost every instrument. I couldn't even
Really?
every instrument.
We're learning that too.
Yeah.
See?
I played at the Red Room.
Really?
I gotta tell you this story because
Yeah,
you're
tell
so
it.
gonna laugh.
Hell yeah.
Okay, when I got into high school, I think the first instrument I played was the trombone. No, it was a saxophone. And my dad didn't like me playing the saxophone anymore because he was tired of going to Herter's to get reeds.
Yep.
And the reeds were expensive, and this is too expensive. So then I switched to trombone. And I hated the trombone because my lips hurt.
Oh yeah.
So
And
bad
you have to get
after.
that, you slide perfectly, or else you're sharp or flat.
Right.
You got to learn that real. But anyways, yeah.
Yep. And then I went back to a reed and started playing clarinet. And wasn't. Fortunately, our clarinet section was huge. We had like a 9-piece clarinet section. So I was going to my dad less for reeds because I was just taking them from my friends.
Borrowing it, yeah. Hey, let me have that one there. And
But I found I just didn't like my position. I didn't like this so much, and I felt like I was always looking up, and I didn't like that.
Understand? Yeah.
So
Especially having to look at the director all the time.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then I
played tenor.
switched from
Yeah, I was in
that,
band too in school.
and I played flute, and I got really good at flute. And
Cool.
I had Jethro Tull in my mind,
As you should.
and
For real, I mean,
I was like,
Right.
you could make
Absolutely.
the flute in rock and roll. It could be heavy if you want it to be, but I mean, in school band,
So did
you're
Ann Wilson
nah.
from Heart.
Heart,
You know,
yeah.
lead singers, man. People didn't realize all that flute you ever hear in there, it was her.
Yes. So my dad, as a big surprise to me, spent a lot of money on a really nice flute, and he paid for private lessons. And I had gotten so good, it was my band teacher's wife who was a New York Symphony Orchestra player. Like that was her job. So I had gotten so good to a point. She's like, "Okay, you're faster than I am.
Wow.
Like we need to move you. We need to get you over here."
More advanced, even more advanced.
Yeah. But then it was a cold winter day, and I was leaving for school, and I put my flute on top of the car while I put my bags
Oh
in.
No.
And left for school, and it got run over. And Mr. Rongo, my teacher, it was turned in because I had all my info in the school on it, and got turned in. And he was like, "Well, you can still play it, but it'll be a little flat." Haha.
Yeah, in other words.
Yeah.
ain't happening.
So at that point, my dad was, I'm done. But band class was not done with me. They switched me over to percussion, where initially I was the timpani player.
Oh yeah, you have to know your notes in that. People don't realize. You have to know.
And I love the sound of the timpani. I'm a little upset that it's not a regular thing. I mean, I guess you're not bringing a timpani
True.
somewhere. They're big and they're bulky.
We
but
sequence that in, and keep on. We put that in some of our music on purpose. But like you said,
yeah,
But
you just don't get too
to have
much
to
of
bring
it.
all three in, or
Yes.
even the one, is like
Yeah.
It's very difficult. Some won't even fit in the door. So
Yeah. But then from there, they moved me to drums.
okay.
And I am not by nature a competitive person, but because of my flute experience, I was very competitive
Right.
when it came to music. So here I am playing drums, and I am going to be first fucking always. Fuck you and fuck you, and that's
Yeah, I want to
my
be first chair or the first
Oh
drummer.
yeah, dude!
first
I was
percussionist.
and it
wow.
kind of reminded me of like Bill Silverthorne, like how he just
Yeah,
you
wails
know.
on it, but
dude,
like strategically,
yes, and so we got a thing together, and we were playing at the Red Room, and I don't remember the song we were playing, and I want to say it was like Wipeout or something, you know, like
Oh,
I had
yeah.
that. I don't know if it was that though. It was a long drum solo, anyways.
Something that involved a lot of drums.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I heard something, and it was offbeat, and it threw me off. That I literally whacked myself right in the middle, and it knocked me off the stool and kicked me back about 3 feet.
Dang.
And that was it for me.
He was done after that.
Yeah, I thought I needed stitches. It was bad.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can always get back on the horse. You
I
ever
told
think
him.
of that?
Well, no. So
Your wedding now.
Eric, the
Flute.
the drummer.
Or drums.
Drums.
Well,
probably.
the drummer from Taylor Mountain has an E-kit sitting out at Steve's house for me that I've been meaning to grab, and it's just been hectic every time I've gone out there. So I've had a car full of gear, so it's hard.
Okay,
to grab.
okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna bring it in and see if we can get her back on drums.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
I'll be practicing paradiddles, baby.
Yeah, hey, yeah, there you go.
Gotta ease back in.
Ease back in. Yes. That's badass, man.
Well,
Yeah, maybe 5 years from now, we could have a drum blowout.
Yeah. Or a drum off.
Yeah, drum off.
Yeah, Stevie Lee taking you on, Jen. Yeah, what you got?
Bring it.
But
I
yeah,
love it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. You got to reignite it, baby.
I know, right? I mean, music is in me. I mean, at an early age, probably kindergarten, I was listening to Billy Joel and John Denver and I don't know all the stuff that my dad would
I was
listen to.
similar
But
to
I
that,
would stand outside while the kids are like I'm grounded, right? And I see all the kids playing hide and seek 5 houses down, and I'm on my headphones outside singing Rocky Mountain High in the worst pitch ever on the planet. But damn it, I could sing.
Yeah, you're around it.
what was your growing up using like in your house?
Similar to that, not really necessarily John Denver and all that, but like since birth, my folks met doing music in college.
Oh, sweet.
And they met through college and then got married. And my father was a piano player, pianist. Piano player. And my mother was a vocalist. And they just kept getting paired up. And so they fell in love.
Awesome.
Very awesome. My grandparents all sang. On both sides of the family, they all had music involved. So I'd go to bed at night thinking that was normal that they're rehearsing. I always heard music. And
Yeah, I think it's really important, and we've talked about this before. Like, I think it's really important that even if it's just the radio, just have it on, sing to your kids. Just it could just be the smallest thing because you just never know. And I really think that music has a way as a child to relieve stress and anxiety. It's a release, and it also creates their creativity. If you give them the opportunity to learn how to write or, help me along with, mom's going through something today, help me write this, or whatever, just to help vent it out. And, I'm just a firm firm believer in that. You turn out and
I agree with that. Yeah, I had a lot of ADHD or whatever you want to call it, whatever they label you as.
Well, that's just
that helped calm me down as a youngster. Even now, we all still kind of have something going.
Well, that's the problem is like, you know, instead of trying to find outlets like that, everybody wants to put everybody on medication. All their kids on medication all the time.
Yep.
sit them in front of a TV with a.
I have.
The iPad or the video.
And I get so many customers calling in saying, "Oh, I need my service now because I need a technician to fix this now because my kid can't go without television." And I'm like, better send that kid outside.
There you go.
Go play.
Because in our days, we'd be outside. They yell, "Get your ass back inside."
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's the opposite. You better get your butt back outside.
Street light hits, you better be inside.
For our age group,
Yeah.
we were always outside playing.
Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do think about that a lot. Like even there's some parents that, I mean, they're not my age. If somebody's having a child at 50, there's whatever. But
No.
Slightly.
You never know.
Slightly younger.
I got.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Slightly younger, but are having kids.
Right.
You know, I see that
You drink?
a lot. I've got a card.
Two white gloves. Yeah. Whatever they are. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be.
I'm on a tab in there, so.
Not mine too. Mine's in there too, Stevie.
All right.
Stevie and Stevie.
Well, Steve. I always say Stevie no matter what, but yeah, my legal name's Steven. I don't go by that unless I'm in trouble or school or government things like, oh, Steven, you're in line here. Or Steve, because sometimes people are like, oh, is it Steve or Stevie Lee? And I'm like, well, my name's Stevie Lee Kinzer. But I've been going by Stevie Lee even when I was younger. Hey, Stevie, what's up? So if someone doesn't really know me, you can call me Steve, even if you don't feel comfortable. Hey, Stevie. But most of my inner circle, even around that circle, is Stevie.
Yeah.
So I'm either or.
I know. Like,
my name's a name.
Like,
or hey,
nobody
you.
calls me Jennifer.
Right, and that's your name. But we go Jen.
Yeah.
I don't really hear people call you Jenny.
Nobody really ever. I think as I got older, Jenny went away.
But you were maybe Jenny when you were younger.
Now,
Jen's now.
Now, if you see me and I'm having a crap ton of fun, you might call me Jenny.
Jenny!
Like, oh, Jenny's in the house.
Woo! I'll probably call you Jenny anyways. I always add an EY or a Y to anything.
Jenny!
What up, Jenny?
Yeah. I think it was,
hey, Jennifer, how are you doing? Good, Steve. I mean, we're Steve and Steve and Steve.
Yeah.
But
he's it's
his
funny.
moniker, Stephen James.
Yep.
That wouldn't be if he's on stage doing his rock and roll.
I tried to switch it. Like,
I think that's cool.
I tried to give him a little change just to see how it would roll, like SJ. Because Stephen James, SJ, I was like
if his name was SJ or just that's how he wrote it.
Yeah, you know, like if we're sitting there and I'm talking to a friend on the phone, I'll be like, yeah, SJ did this today, or SJ did that.
I mean, if you start throwing that in here and there, do it.
Yeah,
but I think Stephen James has a ring.
Yeah, he's like, I don't think I'm an SJ. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, Stephen James has a ring, but
does.
I'll stay out of the couple
no,
debate.
he goes with Stephen James.
And he rocks that. He does kind of the Superman, the S.
Yes.
I identify him as that when I see Stephen James and the S.
Yeah.
But SJ, I mean, you can always put that.
Yeah, it's really become his
moniker or his name. It's his name. But
yeah, and like our background when we're at home is all Superman stuff. I mean,
cool.
He just loves Superman.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. At first, I thought it was a little odd. I'm a documentary person.
Okay, so you're into docs and he's into comics.
Yes.
Yin and the yang. What if you're both? Sometimes good to have differences.
We are insanely opposite.
Well, yeah,
in
I can see
every
that.
way. He sleeps like way up here on the bed, and I like my feet hanging off.
So you're a low sleeper on the bed, yeah.
Yeah, my face is in the small of his back.
Okay.
When he is in the shower, like I always have to move the shower head because I like being in the middle or like towards the back end.
You'd actually tilt it up, even though you're tall, but you're not that. You tilt it up so you can get further out.
Yes.
And he's down.
Because all my stuff is at the end, and I want the water on me the whole time. And he's like right up against the wall, and I'm like, man, how you were not bumping into the
Hey, you always got your own vibes.
And I just laugh. Like, everything about us is so opposite.
Yeah.
You couldn't even be more opposite.
Yeah, Becky and I call her Beck sometimes. And her government name's Rebecca. They're probably like, oh, geez. No, but yeah, we have a lot of similarities, though. Her and I, we do. But then when it becomes the opposite, it's polar opposite. Not even like kind of.
Right.
So that's the beauty of it.
It is.
Keeps everyone in line. If you're too much the same, who knows, you know?
Right. I mean, obviously music is really what we have in common.
For sure.
I mean, we really do. I mean, but not even really, because what he listens to and what I listen to are completely different. I mean, we do have some songs.
Whereas you want more country, or not want, but you like more country, whereas he doesn't really necessarily care for it.
Right.
Not a bad thing. I mean, you know, if it was on all day and you were like, and he goes to his music, you say, no, we're not listening, or vice versa. Maybe that's where you need some alone time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of stuck on Sleep Token right now. It's
Cool.
all that's on my playlist like ever.
Yeah. But we got in the car on the way
Badass.
here, and he was listening to Sleep Token, and I was like, but are we going to listen to this all day?
He's probably like, yeah. If you're in my car or vehicle,
Yeah.
and probably vice versa. You go in hers, and Morgan Wallen hitting, and all the older stuff too, or newer.
Yeah, I'm a huge Miranda Lambert.
And we went to
Okay.
her concert not too long ago at the casino.
Yeah.
Good.
That was fun.
No, for sure.
I like what I like. And you know what? This is something else I really like. And you've kind of done, you're doing this right now because you got two bands going. Mm-hmm. But what I like about Miranda Lambert, she's got herself, then she's got Pistol Annie's, and then she's got, oh shoot, I forgot his name. But it's a whole nother series. Mm-hmm. And then she collabs with a lot of other people all in one album.
For sure.
And she has so much going on, and that's another thing I really like. And that's another reason why I like Whites, too, because the things that happen here is you could be up here doing a solo thing or whatever, and then you got a band coming in there, but they're looking for this, or next thing you know, you've just made a band, and you didn't even know it.
Correct.
But you're in like 3 other bands.
I jammed with Val Hazel and Bill Hall and a few other musicians in there on a whim. We were in there jamming, and they kind of look, hey man, Stevie, jump up on drums, or vice versa. Hey Val, come on up. But he was jamming, and it all works out.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out, but it kind of honed in, and we were just like, all right, vibing out. Even the guy in the background there, Matt Rice, man, he hops on them keys and starts, even the simplest thing is tambourine sometimes. Oh, well, he's just shaking it. No, there was a time we threw it to him. He was right on when to do it, right on beat. It was pretty cool. So,
yeah.
Like you're saying, in White's Bar, a lot can happen.
Yeah, and it's, with some artists, I feel like, yes, I like their music, but I really like them more because they've gone off and done different projects that sound different. It's not like
the same genre every time.
Yes.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
I mean, but you always hone back in.
Yes.
Well, Varion and Smokie Links and
REDBURN.
Yeah,
Varion.
They're all
different.
That's all diverse, man. So yeah, I mean, you got a wide range of music abilities.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
It looks good on the resume.
I appreciate that. Maybe that's why I'm talking about it more, because we're on the podcast, and I was showing you more. And I appreciate that too. That link that you said, not the link, the post.
The 10-day thing.
Because it allowed me to kind of like show more. So it's not every day I'm going to be posting, hey, check this out. Check this.
Yeah.
But I am saying check it out.
It gives
for
you that.
reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just, hey, it's me, my stuff. Because then even me as a musician, I'm like, oh, enough.
Right.
But it's not enough. It's even hearing all this, it's cool.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
No,
You guys,
like
thank you.
more.
I think I'm on day 5 or 6 or 5. So I got 5 more. 5 more to do until you do another post, baby.
Right.
Then I got more coming out. Woo! Yeah, keep them coming.
Well, it plays with the algorithm too.
I didn't see. I don't know that stuff.
Yep, it plays with the algorithm because the more you post and the more you engage on those posts and stuff like that, it pushes it farther.
Well, then
We're on to you, Facebook.
Yeah, I see. I learned all that from Mr. Pogo, Mr. Steve Pogorski, and Mr. Taylor Mountain.
Yeah.
He really knows how to play them Facebook algorithms.
Okay,
So,
cool, man. Mad props to Pogo.
yep.
I know nothing.
I know nothing of that either. In fact, that's probably been my detriment in my earlier years.
It's very difficult because, like, I even noticed, like, if you don't engage on your page a lot, your stuff gets buried.
I've noticed that.
Yep.
Even just sharing, not even music, just anything.
Yep.
You're in a weird algorithm where you're not at the top, not always at the top,
Right.
but in that feed,
Yep.
it gets lost. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Well, there we go. I learned another thing. I'm learning a lot on this podcast.
Yeah. We're going to try and learn one thing every day.
Exactly. No, for real, I'm learning.
Learn one new thing every day, man.
I had no clue.
I wonder on a daily basis how much that we actually learn that we didn't know we learned.
This one I learned. When we don't know.
Yeah.
This one I can say I did not know.
I
I'm not playing dumb. Like, oh, really? Tell me more. I really had no clue. I know about algorithms.
Right.
Yeah,
But to the degree how you set it up,
Right.
Yeah.
or Pogo or whoever, but we said whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now I'll know.
Yeah, well, I
send y'all my music.
I first kind of learned that whole thing with the Suicidal Fish page when that band came out. You really kind of have to reach and comment and like and and all that shit and make sure you say, hey, give me, you guys, your stuff's great, give me a follow, blah blah blah. And if you don't engage and you just even if you take like a couple days off, and that's how bad it is. Even
a couple days.
Yeah, even a couple. Yup, it's annoying. You
know
gotta be on
what?
like every daily basis.
I got to do this really quick for these people to hear. Hold on a minute. Because there's some harmonies going on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I can put them in there. I can put them in the band.
Well, that's what we got going on here tonight, folks. We got Honesty and
Can you hear it?
who is that? That's Honesty and Noel.
Yeah.
Yep, Honesty and Noel. Matt Bessie on the guitar, doing his blues thing.
Yeah. I like get those harmonies. Yeah. I just like Attaboy. I cannot get over.
I do too. I like what they're doing. I mean, I feel bad for
Vincent.
Vincent, yep.
Vincent's
daughter.
rest in heaven.
Yeah.
But overall, on that topic, yes,
Man.
I would say that's their strong. I mean, they have a lot of strong.
Yeah.
The full harmonies with the band.
Yep.
Look out. They're bringing that back in the game.
Absolutely. I think there's an aspect of music that they're bringing back. There were, earlier talked about Heart. When those two girls, yes, they're sisters, whatever, when they do things together, their harmonies are so good. And there's not a whole lot of music now like that.
I agree.
It's a lot of solo stuff. You only got one person singing at a time, and it's
Soloed vocals, like single vocals.
single vocal. Yes.
You'll have them stacked in the studio, but live's more just the one.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
And I think I think there's that they're gonna make a comeback with that. I think because
I'm seeing it too.
yeah, I mean back in the day like the Bee Gees, Alabama,
Eagles.
Eagle. Oh God,
yeah.
Yep.
for real, man.
time.
Some of them just
I rock the Eagles quite often. I do actually when I'm just chilling. When I want more chill music.
yeah.
I
would
like
love.
CCR too.
I would love to have a conversation with Don Henley.
I know, right?
I think that would be one of my
Top.
if there was
Aside from interviewing me, of course.
Oh,
you make me nervous.
Edit that out.
no, absolutely.
Edit that out.
Hey, man,
No,
no,
'cause
fuck
like-
that. It is a privilege and a
Yeah.
pleasure to interview this motherfucker right here.
See, he's too modest. He's too modest.
Absolutely.
If there was one person that you would be starstruck by, that would get you nervous to talk to, but you really want to, who would that be?
Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis.
I know his music is sometimes a little bit too bouncy and what the heck, but I kind of like that. And every song they wrote and he wrote, I dig. Huey Lewis.
Yes.
I'd like to interview him.
I was just gonna say something about like Chester Bennington because I mean you guys did that cover.
He was another artist I was going to say.
It
but
was phenomenal. Dude.
Amongst-
That was a phenomenal cover of that song, and it has gotten some really good recognition. But I think that was primo.
I appreciate that. It took a lot for me to do that. And I have to give mad props to Chris. Chris REDBURN, man, he was always on my ass. No, we got to do it, man. I said, no, it's too cliche, man. And he just passed within the past few years. We sound similar. We're not the same, but we have the rock and the metal and the hip hop. And not only that, it's Chester Bennington, man. He's like, oh, you sound similar, man. But even Astray, Sean, Astray, I actually recorded my vocals at his studio.
Oh, okay.
And I got in there, just me and him, and I let it all out. So, yeah, I would thank you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
It means a lot, and I'm glad we did it. And we definitely did it for the Lincoln Park community, and we were happy to do it as well. But not just for us. It was good to give back, and I appreciate what you said about it, us doing it justice. I said, if we don't do this justice, I was that hard on it. I said, we're not releasing this stuff.
Yeah.
Hell No is one of my favorite songs from the REDBURN group.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Absolutely love that song. So that's definitely on my playlist.
Appreciate that.
There's so much. I love the Rock Hop Radio. I've got it programmed. It's on my screen. I turn it on.
Yeah, I have it on my
all
phone
the time.
too and all that stuff.
And it's funny because
That app.
I hear it's not just rock hop music,
Correct, yeah.
but it's so much stuff that I know. So
Yeah.
it's sing-along music for me.
Correct.
I love sing-along music. I just like, what can we sing? I want to sing a song.
Yeah.
Like I need something.
I know
like,
I keep
sing-along
needing
music.
to get you going.
I keep needing to get
Yes.
one of them video cameras for my car that do that you can record everything that's
Record
going
back from when you're driving or she's in the passenger,
and do
or vice versa.
the in-car karaoke.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny
There's
because
a side thing you guys can do.
Yeah.
thought about that.
Why not?
I know, right?
I think that's cool.
We could do that. Yeah, I come up with ideas for this
Yeah.
all the time. Well, and I just, what do you people think of this idea?
Exactly.
Because this is one, and I sometimes maybe don't give myself any credit, and I
You
maybe
guys
just
don't.
beat myself up a little
You
bit.
both don't, I'll say that.
But
You guys got it.
so some of these national bands that we have, I don't even know if I would just narrow it down to a national band, but if we had someone, like we're interviewing you, and 2 weeks ago, I could have put something out that said, hey, we're having an interview with Stevie Lee Kinzer. What is one question that you would like to ask him,
that's cool.
but do a video of yourself, of them doing the question to present that to you?
You should absolutely do that.
Yeah.
To get people involved.
Agreed.
And then you're talking to them, answering the question.
That's or have a few
Back
or
to
top
them.
5
Yeah.
or whatever you guys pick.
Yeah.
That's actually a very good idea. So
I haven't done it. I think
car karaoke,
yes.
and then questionnaire or whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it.
Yep.
And of course keep the roots of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. I hope we grow.
Can you guys bring me to Florida so I can? You're gonna
Hey,
grow. You're
we're
hoping.
gonna have a place for anybody who wants to come hang out with us to go. That's our main objective is to have a home where we can have friends and family come visit whenever they want.
All right.
And you know what else I would like? And I realized this when I was just inside talking to Noelle. Because back years ago, we were talking about taking a hiatus and moving to Florida, and I was just going to be like their manager. I'm going to go and find all these places and get them gigs. Yeah. So what if we get down there and I find these places and say, hey, I got a band that's available, blah, 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 and you guys want to come down,
Travel down
take
for
the
a
drive
few
down
days
and hang out for a couple days and do a gig and get yourselves out
Hell yeah.
somewhere else.
And go to Florida.
And go to Florida, get some sun, have
Yeah.
some drinks, see some friends.
so when weather gets harsher up here. Not always about the weather, even in summer, but
right.
Yeah, I wouldn't put you guys in a bar where it's 130 freaking degrees.
So there you go. And the off season here,
yes,
that's season's always going in Florida.
Right. Yeah, pretty much.
There's another idea, and it's not even just an idea. If you put that into fruition, or you talk it into fruition, or you make it happen.
Because I think that would be great. Because there's a couple things about moving that obviously is really sad.
Yeah.
But one of the things that for sure we're going to miss is we have community here in music that it's easy for us to reach out, and we'll have to go there and start all over. And it's going to be scary. It's going to be hard. You guys might not get any content besides reaction videos for a little while. I really don't know.
There you go.
But would be really cool, especially, you know, if you're the band that really wants to get out and venture out a little bit more. Here, come stay with us. We got room for you. Drive down, bring your gear. I'll find a spot and get you hooked up.
Right on.
And promote.
2015, I moved from here and moved down to Florida. And then I moved to Northern Virginia. We ain't got to get into all that. It's a good thing, but that's a whole nother podcast. But I understand what you're saying. But eventually, with your charisma and how you guys both are, you have no problem. I'll tell you, you have no problem.
I'm hoping to find a venue.
You'll have no problem.
The venue will find us.
That too.
So anyway, it's been great having Stevie Lee on here. Make sure you check out Smokie Links, REDBURN. They're all over Spotify, all over all your streaming platforms, YouTube.
Yep.
Here in Saginaw, Michigan, we got a lot of shows coming up. So make sure you check them out for any further
click
updates.
The link. We'll have a link.
Appreciate that. Thank
click
you.
The link. So anything that's coming up, you can take a little trip. We got a lot of hotels too, and there's a lot of music going on in Saginaw. So if you want to check them out and maybe message and say,
go online and
what
find
else
where
is
we're
going on in the area? You know, so maybe you can hit up a whole bunch of spots, because we got the Vault, and we got White's, we got Maple Gardens, and we got the
Hamilton
pub,
Street
and
pub, all that,
we got Westtown and Bay City. And
for sure.
There's so much, you guys.
Yep.
Literally.
Midland, even.
Yeah.
Tri-Cities.
Oh, yeah.
And we play more than just Michigan, but even just, like you said, Michigan and all that.
Yep, they were at Wisconsin.
We did that Summerfest.
That Summerfest in Wisconsin.
That was really cool.
That was huge.
Really cool. And thanks Scott Summers for putting that on for us. Not putting it on, but getting linking up the dots, or connecting the dots. So thanks, Scott Summers, for that too.
Yeah. So anyways, you guys, thank you guys all for tuning in to Toon Talk. We thank Stevie and thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe and share. Oh, you guys you're so sweet. And always remember to
keep the music playing.